Really? Lord have mercy. Welcome back to another episode of Savage Sisters Podcast. And today's Sunday, which means it's
Savage Sunday!
Savage Sundays, where we answer random questions.
Yeah.
Okay. Don't forget to follow and
Like, share, subscribe on YouTube as well.
yes. Follow the Twitter page is what I was trying to say. At Savage Sisters Pod. Okay, so what are your thoughts on sex and children before marriage?
Do it. Have them. No.
Well, okay then. Okay.
Nah, I'm just messing. Alright. Okay. No, real talk though. Real talk.
Okay.
No, real talk. I say, oh, you know what? That's a good one. Because I saw somebody posted on Twitter. He asked, what's a good age to have kids? And I don't think, me personally, I would say 25 and up.
I was thinking the same thing.
If you are emotionally, spiritually, physically, mentally, and financially ready. A child is, man,
Expensive as hell.
it's not even that they're expensive. What it is you have to accommodate in ways that you never did for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So you're constantly spending for a child. You know, they grow fast, so you're gonna be buying clothes. They grow fast, so you're gonna be buying diapers. They grow, so quickly. You have to be able to meet them with your finances, and it can be very hard. Now, to say that it's impossible, no, that's just real talk, you being lazy. If you can't maneuver your finances in a way to where your child is cared for properly, then you may want to get you some counseling or something, get a coach, a life coach or something, because it's not that hard. It really isn't. Even if you're doing it by yourself, you just got to be able to adapt. But to answer the question, I say it's not per se what you got to go based on what you want for yourself. If you want children, then decide whether or not you want them while you're married or not. Some people, like my situation, I have a child, but I'm not gonna marry the father, but that doesn't mean that I'll never get married, and I may get married. I don't know. If it happens, it happens. If it don't, it don't. And that's cool by me. My son is gonna be looked after either way. So I'm not really, thinking about it like that. And I'm 32 now, so it's kind of like, okay, I kind of checked off one thing off my list of things I wanted to do in life. And I wanted to have kids, so I got one, and yeah. I don't necessarily want to have any more unless I'm married. But, if that happens, it's cool. If it don't, that's cool too. People, I don't know. I feel like people put too much pressure on themselves when it comes to marriage and when it comes to children, because
you end up in the situation,
right?
Regret, and be like,
and then it's not so much the regret that is what bothers you. What bothers you is you start questioning yourself. Did you do it with the right person?
Mm-hmm.
Especially if the situation, y'all don't work out as far as the relationship. You start questioning yourself, but then you gotta remember, not every relationship is going to last. Not every relationship is supposed to. There's a, we go through life to learn certain lessons, and everybody has a purpose. So sometimes your purpose just don't align with that person's purpose, and y'all end up, going separate ways. And that's perfectly fine. It's normal. There's nothing wrong with that. And I don't shame anybody who doesn't get married. And not even because, I have a child. But I don't shame nobody for, not getting married and having kids. But at the same time, I'm not going to add to a growing problem. Like, I feel like, yeah, it's a problem that there's a lot of kids in the world who don't have both mother and father. It's different when it comes to, accidents or traumatic things that have happened to where, one of the parents is no longer in the child's life. That's different. But you got two healthy, normal individuals that have a child together, and they didn't get married because the relationship was just not good between them. Okay, as long as it doesn't affect the child directly, and they don't purposely try to pin the child against one or the other, I see nothing wrong with them co-parenting or parallel parenting. It can be done. There's plenty of people in the world who have parents that are not together, but they ended up being a good person still. And then also there's people who have gotten married, and then after years of being married together, they, I guess, grow apart and their paths no longer align anymore, so they get a divorce and they have had kids. So it's kind of the same situation. Like, you can't shame either side, because everybody has a path and everybody has their own journey and things to experience and learn. So, people gonna do what they feel they should do. And I don't judge nobody for it. Like, who the hell am I? I'm not God. I ain't make you.
Facts. Big facts.
Shoot. And even when it comes to my son, when he becomes a grown man, I'm not gonna, tell him don't have any children or anything like that. I'm gonna tell him what I was told, which is, if you decide you want to get married, cool. If you decide you don't want to get married, cool. But don't let anybody pressure you. And don't put yourself in a position to where, you have to make a hard choice. And don't make any stupid decisions by, just sleeping around and making babies with people that you clearly know you would never even think of marrying. And I feel like if you gonna date, you should date somebody based on what your end goal is as far as relationships. Like, if your end goal is to be married, you should date based on that. Date for that purpose. Don't date for the purpose of, sleeping around, because you can just do that. You don't have to necessarily date nobody. There's plenty of people out here that they'll give up the ass, There's plenty of them. But don't go messing with people who are not looking for that. And, some people may say, oh, you're gonna be the type of mom to be, telling your son stuff that is grown folks' business. I don't believe in that. I don't believe in that
What does
term.
that even mean?
It's basically an excuse not to tell your child the truth.
That sounds dumb, and you're setting them up for failure.
Right, and you can always find a way to tell your child the truth. It's just some things you have to learn to, you have to word it properly for them to understand it. That's all it is, because you can tell a child anything. Children are very intelligent. People fail to realize that if a baby can be smart enough to scoop their butt out of their car seat to get out the car seat. They can scoop their bottom until they're out the car seat. A baby can understand if you talk to them. A child can understand if you just talk to them. It's just, I feel like that's a lazy person's excuse to not tell the truth.
Mm-hmm.
Because you have to actually think about what you're saying. And, you know, I'm trying to make the habit now, before he starts talking back to me, you know, conversing with me, to say certain things in a certain way so that he gets it. You know, I don't want my son out here, you know, I'm gonna just say, I don't want my son to be no whore. I don't. It's one thing if, you know, hey, I'm gonna tell him what it is. You know, I'm not gonna sugarcoat nothing, because my father didn't sugarcoat nothing with me. He told me flat out what it was, and if he didn't tell me, my brothers was gonna tell me. So, you know, it's better to just let people experience life the way that they should, but give them a good blueprint. You can't set nobody up for failure. And I feel like a lot of people set themselves up for failure by having these high-ass expectations when it comes to relationships, marriage, and children. And it's not necessary to do all that. Just take your time. Be cautious about what you're doing. If you're being sexually active, you know, wrap it up. It's plain and simple. Oh, raw sex feels good. It feels better. Oh, I don't like condoms.
You ain't gonna feel good when you got them peas, them hurts.
Listen, STDs are not a joke. STIs are not a joke. So, just wrap that thing on up. Ladies, get you a dental dam. Stop letting these dudes kiss the cat with no protection. Yes, I'm an advocate for safe sex. Safe sex is great sex. Sometimes. But real talk. Be safe about what y'all doing. Get tested. There's nothing wrong with getting tested. Just go and get tested, you know. Then y'all can make plans to do whatever the hell it is y'all gonna do. As far as marriage, don't marry no damn body just because you had a baby with them. That's stupid. If you're gonna marry somebody, marry them for the right reasons. A lot of times people confuse marriage and what a wedding is. They think that, I want to get married and have this big, for the wedding. Right, they get married for the wedding. Like, no, the wedding is not the marriage. The marriage is what's after.
They want the show.
Yeah. People don't want to do the work. It's the same thing as being in a relationship, but it's even more to it because you are held responsible for that person. You have more responsibility to someone other than yourself. And a lot of people are selfish and they get married, and then the marriage ends up going to hell. But if you were just honest with yourself and honest with that person, you can make a better decision of whether or not you want to actually marry them. And like I said, if you want to have sex with somebody when you got boyfriend, girlfriend, make sure you sleeping with somebody that it would not destroy your life if you had a child by them. That's my rule of thumb when it comes to sleeping with somebody. If you can't see yourself having a kid by that person, do not do it. Don't do it. Because it's so easy to get lost in the sauce, as they call it, or be drunk and y'all too eager to have sex and don't use protection, because it happens all the time. So to avoid that, make sure you humping somebody you wouldn't mind having a kid by. I think that's a good rule of thumb. What's your take on marriage and kids?